And then there's one more thing I wanted to get to before I get out of here. College basketball is coming up. I'm always excited about my college sports, whether it's football or basketball. So, the other day I talked about FAU and how they will be back. They will be a top 10 team. They will probably win the American and they probably will make another NCAA tournament run. I would think at least to the Sweet 16, possibly to the Elite Eight. But is there another FAU amongst us? Now, obviously, San Diego State made it to the Final Four last year as well, but I don't look at them the way that I look at FAU. They are the school of Kawhi Leonard. They have made runs before. They have been thought to have made runs before. They've been a trendy pick throughout the years. Last year was just the year that they actually saw it through. So as I was looking at this, it would be too easy to say Gonzaga, right? It would be too easy to say St. Mary's because they're always there. So there were three teams that came to mind. I'm going to talk about the one that I chose, but just to let you know, I considered Charleston. They got to the tournament last year, played San Diego State tough in the first round, almost set up the South Carolina second round matchup with Furman, but it just wasn't to be. And then UC Santa Barbara. They got a lot of talent coming back. I like their style of play. But for the practices of this exercise, I decided to go with the Drake Bulldogs from the Missouri Valley Conference. Now, the Missouri Valley Conference has been depleted over the years, to say the least. They've lost Creighton. They've lost Wichita State. They lost Loyola Chicago and Sister Jean. But then, the leftovers were left behind. They added Murray State, Belmont, UIC, Valparaiso. So last year it was a one bid lead, which was strange. And we've seen Loyola Chicago and Wichita State go to the Final Four from that conference. So it's not unheard of. So I'm going with the Drake Bulldogs and Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year, Tucker DeVries. He's back averaging 18 and 6 with 5.7 rebounds. He improved his 3-point percentage from 33.9 to a hair over 37% last year. They made the tournament last year against Miami, had Miami on the ropes, had the lead with about 5:40 left. Darnell Brody with 20 and 9. He's back. He came through against Miami and played big basketball. He was only a 9.6 a game average scorer during the regular season, but he saved his best basketball for the tournament. That's what I like to see, the big moments stepping up. He'll be back. They got their first team all freshman guard back. So they can bring Connor Enright. They bring back a lot of talent. They got Roman Penn, who averaged 13, 5, and 6 and shot 49% from the floor. He's only 6 feet tall, and he shot 49% from the floor. How impressive is that? And then you got Sadar Calhoun coming in from Texas Tech, a 39% three-point shooter. So they finished second in the Missouri Valley last year, won the conference tournament, beat number 1 seed Bradley by 26 points en route to the first round matchup against Miami. They lost by 7, but it took for Nigel Pack to get hot to eliminate them. Now, with that being said, I think that Drake is going to have a tough time just as far as the schedule, because from what I've seen so far, it doesn't look like they have any ranked opponents right now. The schedule hasn't been finalized just yet. It looks like the best team they're going to play is UAB. So if anything, the easy schedule will get them some wins. They came into March Madness as a 12 seed last year. So maybe with some recognition now, win the Missouri Valley regular season conference title and go back and win the conference tournament again. And maybe they can bump that up to a 9 or a 10 seed and get a more favorable matchup in the first round, even though they had the 12-5. It just wasn't to be, but they bring that back. Darian DeVries, Tucker's father, is the head coach. This is his 5th year there. And the last 4 years, they've won at least 20 games, and they made the tournament twice. So this isn't necessarily like FAU from the standpoint that FAU came out of nowhere, literally, But I think of it as Drake is not a team that is going to be picked to make a big run in the tournament. They're not going to be on a lot of folks' radar. So I want to put them on your radar now before the season gets started. Now, remember, before you start doubting me and start talking your trash about me, and I'm sure you will, leave me some comments and let me know what you think. Remember, I had 5 of the Elite Eight last year. You know, with that said, of course, none of those teams made the Final Four. So, but Drake is my pick to become the next FAU. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed. I'm not saying that they will. I just think they're the best position to do it.